Hello guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to another video. Today we are back with the Premier League predictions and I'm joined by Harry. How are you doing?
I'm okay, mate. I'm okay. Getting through. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Let's get into this. We start with the Friday night game between Newcastle and Aston Villa. Two pretty big clubs, probably underrated clubs in the Premier League, but having contrasting seasons basically. Newcastle in the dogfight, and especially after Fulham really starting to turn the form up. And Aston Villa, they've been fairly solid. To be fair, their form's dipped a little bit, so maybe a chance for Newcastle to get something, but I'm going to go for a goalless draw.
Yeah, I can see why you said that. Villa have not been scoring as freely as they had been at other points in the season. I just feel like they do have more attacking quality by far that Newcastle do, and I just feel like they'll prove a little bit too much defence. Newcastle have been poor in the last 20 games or so, really poor. I think Villa win this 2-0.
Villa win 2-0. Next up, Saturday, we have Leeds United versus Chelsea. Now, Leeds suffered a 2-0 defeat against West Ham on the Monday, and Chelsea beat Everton 2-0. And Chelsea looking very solid at the moment. I will back them for this one, but Leeds maybe give them a good game. I'm going to go for Leeds 1, Chelsea 2.
Yeah, since Tuchel's come in, he's doing a fantastic job. He's making Lampard look a little bit silly. He's come straight in and got, I think, 6 wins in a row now. It could be 5. I'm not sure. I don't really follow the Premier League as much as the Championship, but he's done very well regardless. I could see that keeping up because Leeds are a funny team. They tend to take part in high-scoring games. I think Chelsea win this 3-1.
Chelsea win it 3-1. Next up, an interesting game. Crystal Palace versus West Bromwich Albion. Now, West Brom picking up 4 points in the last 2 games against Brighton and Newcastle. It's dragged them a tiny bit back into this, but they still need to keep winning games, and this is one they've got to win. And against Palace, I'm not sure. I think Roy Hodgson knows how to win these kind of games, so I'm going to go for Palace 1-0.
Yeah, I feel like West Brom have picked up points because the opponents they've been playing have been quite weak, sort of on their level. Palace, decent team, decent players, nothing overwhelming. I think 1-0.
1-0. Next game, Everton versus Burnley Football Club. Everton obviously slipping up in that last game, but that was away to Chelsea. They can be excused for that. And now up against this Burnley team, I think they will get back to winning ways. Burnley might be a bit of an obstacle, but I think Everton will break them down, and I'm going to back them to win 2-0.
I think Burnley are a team who are very drilled in grinding out results against teams they have no real right to. I think that's something that Sean Dyche has been very good at since he joined that club. And Everton dipped a little bit in the last couple of weeks. They had a fantastic run at the start of the season, dropping away a tiny bit now. I think this is 1-1.
1-1. Next up, Fulham versus Manchester City. This could be interesting. Fulham's form is really solid, but surely they can't beat Man City. Man City obviously on that amazing winning run, but it came to an end against Manchester United. They need to bounce back. I think they will, but Fulham will be a tricky game for them, so I'm going to go for Man City 1-0.
Yeah, I was really surprised by that Man City loss to United recently. I backed them to win that game, actually. I feel like it's just going to be a blip, to be honest. I think Manchester United are a good team, underperforming, you might say, when you look at their players individually. I know they're second in the table and doing well, but they're quite a way behind Man City at the moment, despite that win. I think I just brewed too much for Fulham. I think you're probably looking at 2-0, I'd say. 2-0. Next up, Southampton versus Brighton, 2 teams on the south coast. I'd imagine Southampton should win this one because Brighton's form's dipped a little bit, but Brighton do play some decent football. It's going to be an interesting game, but I feel like Brighton are getting quite unlucky, so I feel like they're going to get maybe unlucky in this game. I'm going to go for Southampton 2-1. Yeah, I feel like when teams consistently get unlucky, I'm always wary that that's going to come to an end at some point. I think it could be against Southampton, if I'm being honest. They peppered West Brom when they played them a couple of weeks ago. How they didn't win that, I don't know. Some shocking calls. I feel like they'll finally get the win they've been so close to. I feel like it'll be 1-0 to Brighton.
Next up, Leicester City versus Sheffield United. Now Leicester with some decent wins recently. They need to just cement that top 4 finish. And up against Sheffield United, you feel like they should get another win here. But Sheffield United, although I don't think they're going to stay up, they've been an obstacle to some teams this season, and they might try and get in Leicester's way and make it a difficult game, but I still think Leicester will come out on top 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, Sheffield United beating Villa recently with 10 men. You've probably got to put that down to a freak result, really. I can't see them sustaining that sort of shock, you might call it. That sort of the shock results over a period of games. I don't like predicting Leicester to win, but I think I've got to. 3-1, I think. I think they've just got too much.
3-1. Next up, North London derby between Arsenal and Spurs. Now it finished 2-0 to Spurs back at Spurs, but this time you feel like Arsenal might have a better chance, but Spurs are looking fairly solid coming into this. They scored 4 against Palace last time out, and I think it's really hard to call this. I think I might just go down the middle and say 2-2.
That's what I was going to go for as well. I think Arsenal have picked up their form recently. Whether they can keep that up, I'm not sure, but you'd think they'll be able to with some of the quality players that they do have. I'm thinking of Aubameyang up top. And Spurs definitely underperforming this season. They started off quite well, then it became the classic Spurs meme where they started bottling everything, losing the teams they should be losing against. I think Desmond as well, 2-2.
2-2. Next up, Manchester United versus West Ham. What a win for United, you've got to say, last time out against Man City. And this one's also not an easy game. West Ham really looking good at the moment. Like I said, they beat Leeds last time out 2-0. Declan Rice, Jesse Lingard, they're all looking so good, all of the players. And I feel like they'll go to Old Trafford and they'll do a job. I'm going to go for 1-1.
You mentioned Lingard. Is he tied? Because he's on loan from United.
He might not be playing, yeah, that's right.
He might be ineligible. That's what worries me about this game. Because Lingard, since coming in, has done a fantastic job, and he's been a key part of a lot of the good things that West Ham have been doing. But is it potential ineligibility for this game worries me a little bit for West Ham. I think they'll miss him. I think United might win this 2-1.
2-1. The final game on the Monday, Wolves versus Liverpool. Liverpool's form really shocking, but that's mainly at home. Can they pick up a result on the road? I'm not sure. It's such a contrast to how I felt about Liverpool last season. They were so good, and now they just look so poor. I'm going to back Wolves 1-0.
I think a lot of Liverpool's poor form comes from Anfield at the moment. You look at their fixtures there the last couple of months, and they will be absolutely furious with themselves, especially losing to, I mean no disrespect, but to Fulham, a team who are battling relegation, currently in the bottom 3. They'll look at that result and be absolutely furious with themselves. They're a good team, they've got some good players, they're not going to keep losing every game. I think 1-0.
1-0. So then guys, that wraps up today's video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and also leave your comments down below for what you think the scores will be. We'll see you in the next video. Peace out.